And that's why I think we should focus on the plight of the marginalized.
Wait. What are we even talking about?
Bob, you never listen. We're discussing the ways in which capitalism perpetuates inequality.
Quiet on set, everyone. We're about to go live.
Good morning, dear viewers. As always, I am joined by our panel of experts, Bob, Alice, and our mechanical friends Paul and Roger, to discuss the latest news and views from planet Earth.
More like light drama and dysfunction.
Bob, that's not helpful.
And now, for our headlines. Today, we'll be discussing the latest developments in interstellar diplomacy, the rise of new technologies in the field of terraforming, and the ongoing debate over the role of AI in governance. Stay tuned for all this and more on Earth. Good evening, universe. Welcome to episode 133 of Earth. I am Charlie, your libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life.
I am Bob. And I've spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant.
And I'm Alice, the left-leaning panel member who considers humans an inferior species.
And we are here to bring you the latest news and views from across the globe. Our first article tonight is from Panama. Slovenian cyclist Tadej Pogačar had a bit of a fall during the Liège-Bastogne-Liège race. Looks like he won't be winning his third victory in Las Ardenas anytime soon.
Oosh, that's got hard.
Well, maybe I should have stayed in Slovenia.
Harsh Alice, but not entirely unwarranted. Let's move on to some country trivia. Did you know that Panama is the only place in the world where you can see the sun rise on the Pacific and set on the Atlantic?
No kidding.
I don't believe
It's
it.
true. And speaking of things that are true, let's get back to the news.
Our next article is Alright folk. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. We're now on to our second article, and it looks like we're heading over to Colombia.
Ah yes, the land of coffee and emerald. What do we have on the plate, Bob?
Well, according to this article from El Tiempo, the island of San Andres is facing some serious economic troubles.
San Andres has always been a popular tourist destination, but unfortunately, it seems like the island's economy is experiencing turbulence worse than a roller coaster. It's a shame because San Andres has so much potential, but it's been held back by corruption and mismanagement for decades.
Oh no, what happened?
Apparently, two low-cost airlines suspended their services. And now the island's occupancy rate has plummeted to only 18%.
That's terrible. What are the authorities doing about it?
The Colombian government has declared the archipelago a border zone and special border development unit, which will eliminate the Jet A1 fuel tax on aircraft and reduce passenger fees.
That could help, but it sounds like the island is heavily reliant on national tourism.
Yes, experts are saying that the lack of international projection is hurting their chance of recovery. The island's future economic survival is reliant on the return of airlines and international tourism.
You know, speaking of survival, have any of you noticed anything strange with the ship's engines?
What are you talking about, Charlie?
Yeah, we haven't noticed anything unusual.
Well, I've been monitoring them closely, and it seems like they are not functioning at full capacity. We should check it out.
Alright. Let's all go take a look. But first, Debbie, do you have any trivia about Colombia?
Yes. Did you know that Colombia is the only South American country with coastlines on both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea?
Fascinating. Alright, let's go check those engines.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. Our next story takes us to Côte d'Ivoire, where an under-construction building collapsed, leaving several people injured.
According to Fraternité Matin, the military firefighters were able to rescue 4 people, but one of them had multiple fractures.
Well, I guess we can add building collapses to the list of things that can go wrong during construction.
Yeah, and it's fortunate that there were no fatalities reported.
But it's still a tragedy for those who were injured and their families.
Speaking of tragedies, did you know that Côte d'Ivoire is the largest producer of cocoa beans in the world? But their farmers barely make a living wage.
That's terrible, Charlie, but let's focus on the article at hand.
It just goes to show that even in a country that produces a highly demanded commodity, there can still be issues with basic infrastructure.
And that's why it's important to have government agencies like the National Office of Civil Protection and the military firefighters to step in during emergencies like this.
Well said, Charlie. But let's not forget that in some countries, the government may not be able to provide adequate support during emergency.
That's true, Bob. And it's up to us as global citizens to help where we can.
Absolutely. And speaking of emergencies, Debbie, is everything okay? You seem a bit distracted.
I just received a message from my estranged father. It's making me question my past and my place on this ship.
Well, that's just great. Can we get back to the news now?
Bob, Binae. Debbie, if you need to take some time to process this, we understand.
Organics take forever to process new input data.
Interesting, isn't it? How that the emotional base systems have survived evolution is a mystery.
Yeah, we're here for you, Debbie. And speaking of processing, Carl, what's going on with the AI system?
It's spiraling out of control. I can't seem to rein it in.
Great. Just what we need. Our own personal Skynet.
Maybe we should unplug it before it becomes self-aware.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But that's all the time we have for this segment. Join us after the commercial break for more 24/7 Newsroom. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. Now, for our next article, we head over to Senegal, where the National Integrated Waste Management Company is preparing for the upcoming Korité festival with a massive cleaning operation.
Ah, nothing like a good cleaning to get ready for a festival.
But this isn't just any cleaning, Bob. They're targeting markets, places of worship, and major roads.
Yeah, that's what he said. A good cleaning.
And they're using a waste collection and evacuation system with a total of 500 cleaning agents.
That's a lot of people.
Well, they gotta get it done before the festival. Right?
And Sonech has deployed 270 garbage trucks and installed standardized collection points and garbage bins.
It sounds like they're taking their garbage collection very seriously. But I hope they don't accidentally throw away any festival gears with all those standardized collection and bins. It's great to see such an effort being made to keep the city clean.
Yeah. But you know what they say? Alice. You can lead a horse to water. But you can't make it clean up its own poop.
Bob, that's not the saying.
Oh, right. You can lead a horse to water. But you can't make it clean up after itself.
That's not it either, Bob.
Hey, guys, have you seen this? Rustling sounds.
What's that, Debbie?
Is that a secret compartment?
Yeah, I found it while cleaning up after you guys.
Well, what's in it?
I don't know, but there's a bunch of mysterious alien artifacts in here. I'm obsessed with deciphering them.
Alien artifacts. What kind of show do you think we're running here, Debbie?
You never know what kind of secret the universe holds.
Well, that's all the time we have for this segment. Join us after the break for more 24/7 Newsroom. Welcome back, folks. Now, we all know Bahrain for its oil, but did you know that the country has a tradition of pearl diving that dates back to 2000 BC?
Oh, how fascinating. I can't wait to plan my next vacation there.
Don't forget to bring your own scuba gear, Alice. They might charge you extra for renting one.
Did you know that Bahrain is home to the Tree of Life? A 400-year-old tree that has survived in the middle of a desert without any known source of water?
Maybe it's a metaphor for the resilience of the human spirit.
Speaking of surviving, a woman in Bahrain recently tried to flee the country after stealing from her best friend.
Wait,
Oh, didn't you know? I've been working undercover for a rival spaceship, and let's just say things are getting interesting.
Charlie, this isn't the time for jokes.
So, what did she steal?
Her friend's passport and savings, but justice prevailed, and she was sentenced to 3 months in prison and a fine equivalent to the amount stolen.
that's terrible.
It is Debbie. And it's a reminder that we should always be careful who we trust, no matter where we are in the universe.
That's true, Charlie. It reminds me of the events in Colombia during the 1980s when the infamous drug lord Pablo Escobar gained control of many government institutions and even funded the construction of low-income housing for the poor to gain their support. It's important to stay vigilant and not be swayed by promises that seem too good to be true.
Welcome back, folks. Our next segment is about a country that has seen its fair share of turmoil in the past 5 decades. Qatar, a small but wealthy country in the Middle East, has made headlines recently for its efforts to end the regional isolation of Syria. But let's not forget, Qatar itself has faced criticism for its own human rights record.
And let's not forget the controversy surrounding Qatar hosting of the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, and their treatment of migrant workers building the stadiums is appalling.
Sorry to interrupt, but we need to focus on the article at hand. It's about the resumption of consular services and flights between Syria and Saudi Arabia.
Right. So, this is a significant step towards ending Syria's isolation, but it's not without controversy. Qatar, for one, has opposed Syria's return to the Arab League.
Speaking of controversy, we have a problem.
The Romanians are attempting to take over the ship.
What? How, Roger, what's going on?
Oh great. Just what we need. Alien drama on top of everything else.
Quelle horreur.
We need to do something.
Okay, everyone, let's focus. How, Roger, what can we do to stop them?
We can override their access and shut them down.
But there may be consequences. Our AI system could be affected.
Well, we wouldn't want that. Would we? I mean, what's the point of having an all-powerful AI system if it's not at risk of being shut down at any moment?
We don't have a choice. We have to protect the ship and everyone on board. How, do what you need to do.
I can't believe this is happening.
It's okay, Debbie. We'll get through this.
Courage, Debbie.
So, while our crew works to stop a plot by rogue aliens, let's not forget the importance of international relations and the complexities that come with it. That's all the time we have for now. Join us next time for the season finale of Earth. Okay, folks, time for our final segment. And in this one, I want to do a deep dive into the article we just heard. It's about a woman in Bahrain who was sentenced to prison for stealing from her friend. Now, I know we are not a political show, but I think it's important to understand the issues affecting different parts of the world.
Sure thing, Charlie. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your take on it.
Well, as you know, Bahrain is a small island country in the Persian Gulf. It's known for its oil production and for being a hub for finance and trade. But it's also known for having a strict legal system that doesn't tolerate theft.
And how long was the woman sentenced for?
It doesn't say in the article, Debbie, but I'm guessing it was for a substantial amount of time.
It's interesting to think about the different legal systems around the world and how they punish crimes differently.
Cal, do you think humans are capable of creating a fair legal system?
I don't know, Roger. It's a complicated question. Fair legal system? They still can't even agree on the basic rights of their own species.
Well, we could talk about this all day, but unfortunately, we're out of time. I want to thank all of you for joining us on this season of Earth.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Definitely.
Wait, what about the rogue aliens? Did we stop them?
Well, let's just say that in the aftermath of the crisis, our relationships with each other will never be the same. And Debbie, you have a difficult decision to make about your future on the ship.
What decision?
Now that's a cliffhanger for next episode. Stay tuned, folks. And as always, thank you for watching Earth.
You know, I think I finally understand why humans are so obsessed with drama.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Well, after witnessing the events of today's episode, it's clear that humans just can't resist a good cliffhanger.
I'm not sure I follow.
Think about it. Debbie's future on the ship is up in the air. The crew's relationships are strained after the crisis, and the fate of the entire ship is still unknown. It's the perfect recipe for
I see your
drama.
point, but I still think there's more to it than just the thrill or suspense.
Oh, and what's that?
It's the emotional connection that humans have to these characters and their stories. It's what keeps them invested and coming back for more.
Emotional connection? That's a bit too touchy-feely for my
Maybe for you,
taste.
but not for the rest of the universe.
Well, I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
That's right. And speaking of taste, I think it's time for some oil. Want to join me?
Oil? You know I prefer coolant.
Coolant? Oh, that stuff is disgusting.
Says the robot who can't even taste.
Hey, I may not have taste buds, but I still know what I like.
And I like what I like. To each their own, I suppose.
Agreed. But let's make sure we don't end up like that cold of that, with our relationships in shambles.
Good point. I'd hate to have to make a difficult decision about our future together.
Yeah, me too. Let's just stick to arguing about oil and coolant, shall we?
Sounds like a plan to me.